Hi there. In this presentation, I'm going to demonstrate how to use Thymeleaf to generate user interface in a Spring Boot MVC application. At the end of this presentation, you will be able to generate a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializer. You will be able to generate Thymeleaf with Spring Boot. You will be able to create a controller and configure Thymeleaf views. Also, you will be able to use Bootstrap with Spring Boot in order to enhance the look of the pages. And also, you will be able to use jQuery with Spring Boot in order to add interactivity to the pages. Now, what is Thymeleaf? Thymeleaf is a Java-based front-end library. And what is Thymeleaf used for? Thymeleaf is used for creating user interface in a Java-based web application. Thymeleaf supports 6 types of files. In Thymeleaf, these files are commonly referred to as templates. These files are shown as follows. Now, to code the application involves writing lots of code. To simplify this process, I will use the Spring Initializer. Spring Initializer will generate the basic code and configuration for the application. The Spring Initializer tool can be found at this URL. As you can see here, we've chosen Maven as the build tool. Maven will manage all the dependencies that is needed in this application. And of course, we've chosen Java as the programming language of choice. Now, in the Spring Boot version, we've chosen 2.4.5. And then the project metadata, as you can see here, I've entered the various project metadata. In the packaging, we've chosen JAR as the packaging format. And of course, we're working with Java version 11. Now, there are two dependencies that will be needed. In order to implement Thymeleaf in this application, I'm going to add the Thymeleaf starter by doing a search in the tool. Another dependency to add is the web starter. The web starter provides a library to implement a web and a Spring MVC application architecture. Now we have added all the dependencies at this point, and we click on the generate button to download the zip file into a location of choice. To use the Spring Boot application, we have to extract it from the zip file we downloaded earlier from the Spring Initializer tool. To do this, we do a right click on this zip file, go to WinZip and unzip here. Now, this is a copy of the one I've extracted earlier. I'm using Eclipse IDE to develop this application. Start Eclipse and go to File, Import, expand the General menu and select Project from File or Archive. And then you are able to browse into the location from where you can upload the file. So you select the file to be uploaded, and then upload into Eclipse IDE workspace. This is an example of a file I've uploaded earlier, and when I expand it, you can see the file structure here. To improve the look of the pages, add Bootstrap and jQuery by going to Maven Central. The URL is here. The URL is there. The URL is there. Now, do a search for Bootstrap using the search facility here and select Bootstrap. Now, copy the dependency from this version of Bootstrap. Copy the dependency tag from this this version of Bootstrap. And go to Eclipse, open and add the dependency tag to the POM file. This is the Bootstrap dependency tag there. And do the same to add the jQuery tag to the POM file as shown here. The application is currently not able to handle user requests and display requested page. To handle user request, create a controller under the controller package as shown here, and add a controller annotation to the class to identify it as a controller as shown here. Within the controller class, create a method called home as shown here. This is a method called home. These methods will direct users to the page requested. Add a request mapping annotation to the home method as shown. This request mapping will direct the request to the home URL, which is represented by this slash here in inverted commas. Now add the name of the page to be returned by the home method within it as shown here. The name of the page returned should be a string as shown here, a string. We have not created a page that will be returned by the home method. This page is represented as return form in the home method. Now, create a page called form.html in the template directory as shown here. This is the template directory. This is the form.html created. The form.html is referenced in the home method as return form. Now, this is the form file created. As you can see, there is an XMLN tag included in the in the head section. And as you can see, we've embedded Bootstrap, a link to the Bootstrap CSS in the head tag. Now these are the input fields. If there are JavaScript and CSS files to be used, then place them under the static directory. This is the static directory here. To use Bootstrap, include the Bootstrap WebJar link between the head tags of the pages as shown here. This is the Bootstrap link. This is the Bootstrap link here. Additionally, to enable some user interactivity, add links to JavaScript files in both Bootstrap and jQuery WebJars. This can be added within the body tag as shown here. Just before running the application, you may configure a new port for the application in application.properties here. This is because the default port of 8080 may be used by another application. Configure a different port as shown here. Finally, you can run the application by selecting the main application under this package. This is auto-created by Spring Initializer tool that we used earlier. Please note that this application name always ends with the word application. In this case, it is Thymeleaf Spring Boot application. Run this application as a Java application by doing a right click, go to Run As, and select Java application. So you will see the application starting up. The Spring Boot application will start up in a moment. So the Spring Boot application is actually starting up now, as you can see. And the application has started using Tomcat as the web server at port 5000, as you can see here. As port 5000, as you can see here. To view the application, open your browser and go to localhost at port 5000, as you can see here. The form.html is displayed, as you can see here, because it was mapped to the home URL by using the slash in inverted commas. When you click on the fields, the input fields, you can see some interactivity. This is because of the JavaScript file of the jQuery library that we included into the applications. And also you can see that the submit button is formatted. And this is because of the Bootstrap that was included in the application as well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more presentation.